Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. Mondays, that means Chelsea news. Today we're going to be discussing the potential of what happens if Chelsea do in fact sack Enzo Maresca in the summer, because apparently there's a little conflict at board level right now. Some people are happy with him, some people are not. We're going to discuss what that probably looks like, and of course I've made my thoughts clear on it, but we're going to enter that conversation in a little bit of time. We begin today's Chelsea news video. Tottenham, Chelsea and Newcastle remain all keen on signing Marc Guehi from Crystal Palace, as he's been on their lists for months. There's also a possibility Guehi goes on a free transfer in 2026 if a deal can't be agreed this summer. First thing, Marc Guehi is having a brilliant season at Crystal Palace, playing on the left side of a back three for Oliver Glasner. They're into the FA Cup semi-final, winning the FA Cup semi-final on Saturday against Aston Villa. Marc Guehi's having a great season. He's captaining Palace right now, and he looks to me like he's grown into what I thought he was going to. When Chelsea ended up selling him all those years ago, you looked at a player and you're like, this guy could be a real leader. He could be a quality centre-half. As much as I always have this weird thought about, oh, why do we go back and buy players that we already sold? That's annoying, isn't it? Well, I don't think he'd have got the same opportunities at Chelsea, so I think it was probably the right thing to sell him. But he's also, in my opinion, the most ready-made to come and just slot right into this Chelsea team right now. I would love to see Marc Guehi sign for Chelsea. In terms of Tottenham, I mean, I don't know why you'd ever go there. If it was me, I would 100% be staying at Palace and working under Glasner rather than going to that shithole. Or Newcastle, on the other hand, that could be a great place to go. They're actually going places. So if it was me, I don't know what Spurs are going to offer. I don't know what wages Daniel Levy will be pulling out of his back pocket for Marc Guehi, but Chelsea or Newcastle, by the looks of things. We move into story number 2 here. From Caught Offside, Enzo Maresca could be facing the sack at Chelsea, with members of the board split on whether to continue with him as head coach next season. Whether there is too much truth in this, I don't know. But I've already made my thoughts clear, and I'll remind you, in case you forgot what my thoughts are. If Enzo Maresca gets Chelsea into the Champions League next season, I would probably keep him. I would still be thinking, well, is there anyone better? Because we're going to need to do something special if we're going to go and get our third flipping trophy of the Champions League. But if he doesn't, then I don't think I've seen enough this season to suggest that this is something worth working with for 5 years. So I'm very much a believer that right now, when I look at this Chelsea squad, yes, the results aren't awful. Yes, we are currently in a Champions League place, and we've won the last 2 games. But I'm looking at the Chelsea players and I'm thinking, why do they look as though they're going against their own instinct sometimes? When the instinct might be to run with the ball or get forwards or go in this certain direction, then they kind of remember, oh, but we've got to go, you know what I mean? The way that I'm speaking is to try and explain what I see on the pitch. We just slow everything down. And I don't think the players that we've actually got are that bad. I think the players might actually be better than the football that we're playing. And that opinion has been changing a lot over the course of the last couple of years. There's so many things, which is going to sound ridiculous, right? And I know that revisionism in football is like a current topic where it's like, don't touch the floor, it's lava. I miss some of the fast, aggressive attacking that we saw at the end of last season under Pochettino. And I think we're more than capable of it, but we just keep inviting pressure on ourselves all the time. So when it comes to Enzo Maresca staying or going, I can't sit here wholeheartedly with like full confidence in him. I want to back him because I really liked him at the start of the season. I liked the way he came across. I like the football that we were playing. The amount of direct attacks that Chelsea have had since December has plummeted. And I don't know if that's all Moresca's fault, but it's 100% a stylistic issue when it comes to the naked eye of watching it. And the stats back that up too. Even though we do create chances, maybe it's the playing personnel. But if Moresca stays, right, you need to give him the players that he wants. Otherwise, we're probably going to be having this conversation in a year. If he doesn't get better players than he's got right now, we are going to be having this conversation again. This is the most up in the air, average across the board Premier League season we've ever had. Even the year that Leicester won the league. Like Liverpool this year are leagues above. But everyone else is bang average. Simple as that. If he does stay, give him the players that he wants and that he needs and back that. But if he doesn't get Champions League, I wouldn't be so bothered if he's gone, if I'm being quite honest. He's pissed me off a lot with the way that he's spoken about Chelsea fans, the way that he keeps on talking about, but Chelsea haven't been here in so long. We've been there all season. No, mate. Like, football is cyclical. We have the start of the season, the end of the season. You've got a target at the beginning, and if you don't get it at the end, it's a failure. Simple as that. No one else managed to get away with it under Roman, so I don't see why we should be letting managers get away with it now. If he is sacked, though, this is what I want to discuss with you here. I don't see a top manager being approached by the ownership. I don't see a top manager looking at what Chelsea have done in recent years. I don't see a top manager being like, oh yeah, well, at least I'm going to go there and get a load of money to spend, because if we don't get Champions League football again this year, we've already spent 1.5 billion. The money is going to run out. We've spent all the money already. We're already in debt, guys. That's just a fact. So yes, we can still keep spending for now, but we can't keep selling hotels. We can't keep selling the women's team. We can't keep on flipping, potentially selling the training ground. So eventually we're going to have to keep getting a manager who is going to be able to just be like, this is what you got to work with, deal with it. Okay, that's basically the caliber of manager. And my concern would be flipping Kieran McKenna from Ipswich, who we were talking to last summer, apparently. We ended up going with Moresca. He's just been relegated with Ipswich, by the way. One of the worst, one of the 3 worst teams you've seen in the Premier League for a long time. No disrespect to them. I know they got 4 points against us, but over the course of the whole season, Ipswich have been woeful. Absolutely woeful. I don't really see where we go from Moresca, because from what I would want, which is like an elite level gaffer, I don't think the club are going to get them, and I don't think those elite managers would look at this and be like, yeah, okay, I'm going to go there because I can build my identity to that team. I don't think that's going to happen. So that's the sad reality that we're dealing with right now. But I'm backing Moresca. I know this has gone quite negative in this video so far, but I'm backing him to do the job. I think with what I've seen in the way that we won away at Fulham and the way that we won at home to Everton, despite relinquishing that control, I still believe that we played well and we can actually do it. So with that being said, I think Moresca will stay, and I'm all right with it for now. Real Madrid would be prepared to offer 40 million euros to Chelsea, plus Arda Güler for the signing of Argentine midfielder Enzo Fernandez. Can this bloody source just piss off? I know I keep giving them flipping airtime in these videos, but jeez, man. This ain't happening. 40 million euros, you are having a laugh, mate. Moving on. Man City are considering a bid to sign Désiré Doué, who is also wanted by Arsenal, Chelsea and Manchester United. The winger is valued by PSG at 100 million euros. First things first, unless PSG are desperate to sell Désiré Doué, why would he want to leave? Luis Enrique is building something great there. Yes, I think Désiré Doué is an elite footballer. He's a maverick footballer that can go to the very, very top of the game. Will he want to do that by staying in France? Probably not. If he's got any kind of seriousness about him, he'll want to go and move to the Premier League or one of the big boys in La Liga, for example. But 100 million euros, we could have just pushed for him last summer. Do you know what I mean? PSG got him, and he's broken onto the scene now. He's having some brilliant form in the Champions League. He was incredible against Liverpool, excellent against Aston Villa. Désiré Doué is a real talent. 100 million euros, I mean, we're talking about signing a winger. Bynoe-Gittens isn't going to be cheap. And I know that you can't always base a footballing signing on, well, if you're going to spend 70, you might as well spend 100. But do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Désiré Doué, I'd love to see him at Chelsea. He's a brilliant footballer. I just don't see him going to us, if I'm being honest. Chelsea have opened talks with Bynoe-Gittens' representatives and are prepared to offer an annual salary of 6 million to 7 million euros. This story doesn't seem to want to go away. And I think realistically, Bynoe-Gittens will probably be the most likely winger that would come through to Chelsea this summer. In terms of the wages, I'm not entirely sure what Bynoe-Gittens wants, but I think it would be a lot less than someone like Nico Williams, for example. Probably a lot less than what Jadon Sancho is also wanting at Chelsea, by the way. So we'll have to see what happens there when it comes to either paying that 25 mil to Man United, which Sancho, to be fair, since there was all of this, Moresca even wasn't playing him every time, since Jadon Sancho has been in the spotlight where it's hang on a minute, Chelsea don't actually have to sign me, he's actually turned it on. Is that something that bodes well for the future? Not really. Are we going to keep seeing these constant dips from Sancho? Maybe. From what we've seen at Man United and Chelsea so far, it'd be foolish to say that you won't see that. So let's see what happens there. John Obi Mikel on Victor Rosamen. He wants to play for Chelsea. I know we stopped in terms of the contract. I know where we are. It's an easy fix because we've done all the hard work last summer. I'm just reminding you about these quotes, guys, because I'm so desperate for Chelsea to sign Rosamen. Even like seeing Galatasaray again at the weekend, every time I watch Galatasaray play, this guy is just doing a madness. He scored a goal at the weekend where the ball kind of comes in, it bobbles up to him, he controls it, takes it over the head of the defender, hits a shot on the half volley created by himself. The shot gets blocked, and then he's there to just like slide in for the rebound of his own blocked shot. Like, he's just brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. Imagine Pedro Neto, all these crosses that he puts in that no one scores. Imagine if you got Rosamen in the box. We'll be talking about double figures of assists for Neto this season. People wouldn't be saying, oh, is he actually worth the money? We'd be like, yeah, he's definitely worth the money. Do you know what I mean? And this is what I said earlier about Chelsea players kind of, they've got the ability, but like something is missing. And as much as credit to Jackson, he scored at the weekend. The amount of crosses we put in the box, imagine if we had a box-present striker, someone that can head the ball in the back of the net. I think the equations are quite simple. And I think even bringing it back to Moresca, just let the boys play a bit. Do you know what I mean? See what they can do. I think we've got the ability, but I think it's just being stifled. The final story of the day. God, we talk about this guy every year on GBFC. Chelsea are reportedly in regular contact with Jules Koundé of Barcelona. Jules Koundé, of course, scored the winner for Barcelona in the Copa del Rey final against Real Madrid. Jules Koundé is a really good footballer. Barcelona, always in some kind of financial turmoil. So let's see what happens here for Chelsea in the window. We're getting close towards the end of the season, guys. I'm looking forward to the next games. Liverpool at home. They won the flipping Premier League yesterday. A little word on that for a second. Liverpool champions. There was a big party in Liverpool last night. I'm hoping that the players are still on it, and I'm hoping that they're still on it come the time they come to Stamford Bridge on Sunday, because it would be nice to play against the hungover Liverpool and see the continued fight that we've seen in the last 2 games from Chelsea that shows we want it in the Champions League next season. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Smack a like on today's video. More GBFC linked in the description. I upload there also every single day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.